y'all, welcome back to my channel, Chasing Contentment. I have a really good hair day today, so I am making multiple videos, so that's why you're probably seeing this outfit a few times. And you can also see all my gray hair in its glory, so I've been working with kids since I was 13. That's why I have all this gray hair. And my aunt actually went completely gray at like 22. So I think it just runs in my family. So I'm just embracing it since I can't go get my hair done and I'm too scared to dye my hair myself. Anyway, today I'm going to be showing you how I organize my sinking funds. So if you're familiar with Dave Ramsey, you know probably about sinking funds. It's not part of the 7 baby steps, but it is something that culture or that community talks about a lot. But sinking funds are a way that you save money for things that you know that are upcoming. So for Christmas, for example, every month I set aside some money for Christmas so that when December comes, I'm not broke from spending all of my money that month on Christmas. I save a little bit each time. So each expense that you have that you know is coming up within the year, it could be I have insurance that I have to pay for. I'm a speech language pathologist. I have to pay for my dues for my licensure, car taxes. There's vacation if you want to spend money on vacation that year. There's a new car fund. That's something that we're trying to save up for, is to buy a new vehicle. And so that's something that we set aside every month to go towards savings. So sinking funds can be, you can have maybe like 2. If you know Christmas and you know that at the beginning of the school year, your kids are going to need materials for school that they have to bring. Those could be your 2 sinking funds. I have a lot because I am a type A, and I like to have specific areas to save and know exactly where my money is going. So a lot of times people will say you can open multiple savings accounts in like a Capital One banking account. I think that's too complex and too hard to keep track of. So what I have done is I have made an Excel spreadsheet that breaks down all of the money that I have in savings, and you can track it every month. So you can add or subtract money when you take it out from savings or put it in. I have my savings account split into 2 accounts. One is my Wells Fargo and one is a Capital One, because the Capital One savings account, you can get a little more interest. But all this money is saved so that when the expense comes, I'm not shocked and I have that money saved aside. So like I said, I'm going to show you my Excel spreadsheet and how I organize it in one place instead of having visuals that are printed out or having multiple accounts. I think this is the simplest way that I found to track my sinking funds, and I always know exactly how my money is allocated for each fund. So I'll show you that right now. Okay guys, so I'm going to be showing you how I use my Excel spreadsheet to track my savings. So I'm going to show you an example of a sinking fund. I created this and I'm thinking of making it available. Please comment if you would like access to this, because I want to make it helpful for everybody. So this is my sinking funds, and this is exactly what I do. Mine just looks a little different because it has different numbers. I just wanted to show you how I use it. So up here, I just put my last name, 2020 sinking funds. One thing that's important to do or to note is you can literally copy and then you can start a new tab for like 2021. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel every year. You can keep track, and so that way you can also see how you've made progress from year to year. But anyway, so I put the title up here, and then I have all of my funds on this column right here. So these are not all of mine. I put name just so that people could put whatever they want. But up here, these are ones that I really do use. So emergency, house, car repair. So that would be, new tires, oil change, things like that. Car replacement, car tax. I know how much every year that my car taxes are going to be. Usually it goes down a little bit, but I know, so I divide it by 12 and start saving for the next year. Amazon Prime, Mercer liability. I'm a speech language pathologist, so I have to have liability insurance to cover myself. Medical, that would be, things that come up medically, like doctor's appointments, surgeries, things like that. When I have a baby or I'm pregnant, I will usually have a line item that says baby, and what I'll do is I'll save money every month, and that will go towards the medical costs for that child. And if it's less than what I saved, then I will either use it for things like diapers, food, or I will put it in their little savings account if we don't need it that month. So vacation, Christmas, gifts, birthdays. Okay, so you get the gist. So what you do is you go into this beginning balance section. Say I've got $50 for vacation to start out. Okay, so every month I plan on what I'm going to spend my money on. It's on a zero-based budget. I also designate money to sinking funds. So every month I put $12 towards my Amazon Prime account. What I do is I calculate all of those things that I want to save money for and put that as an item on my budget. Let's say this month is January. I'm going to save $50 towards emergency fund. I'm going to do $50 towards my house, and I'll say $10 towards Amazon Prime. This is just an example to show you what I do. Usually the numbers are not that clean, but I wanted to make it easy. Okay, so I have this as line items on my budget, on my zero-based budget, in every dollar. Okay, so what I do is I calculate the total of my savings. So this month I'm going to be saving $110. What I do is I take that total of $110 at the end of the month after everything is cleared from my bank account for the month, and I transfer it to my savings. So that month I would transfer $110 to my savings account. Okay. Once I do that, what I do is I come back and I still have it available so I can see exactly how I broke it down. I come in over here, and my total of savings should be $1,370 on my bank account. If that's not right, I need to check my numbers, okay? So I know that this month I transferred $110, okay? So we'll do it. I'm going to clear this. Zero. Okay. So in my emergency fund right here, I click and I put plus 50, okay? My house, plus 50, okay? And then in Amazon Prime, I added 10, okay? So if you come down here and click, it should add up to $110, okay? So that has changed my total down here, okay? For some reason, it's making me click on the summative thing again. So if it doesn't add up, just make sure you click this and click enter and it'll fix itself. So I have $1,110 in my savings account right now from January, okay? So say it's February and I had a really rough month and I had an emergency. I had to withdraw $300 from my emergency fund, okay? So what I would do is I would take $300 from my savings and transfer it to my checking so that I can use it for whatever I needed, okay? When you do that, immediately what I would do, not waiting till the end of the month, immediately I would come into my sinking fund thing, or I would come into my sinking fund chart, I would find my emergency, I would go to the February and do minus 300, okay? So it tracks that I had to spend $300 on an emergency, okay? So this should update, and now I only have $810 in savings. So you can see every month it will calculate your grand total of how much you've saved that month, what you started out with, and what your total is currently. It's really helpful because you can see exactly how you have your money designated, but you don't have to have separate savings accounts. Something like this where you can literally just see every month, know exactly where your money's going. So this should be a lot more simple than the other ways to track your sinking fund. So I hope this is helpful, and it's pretty easy to do. And like I said, I use it literally all the time, and that's the way I know how much I have saved for different goals. So, yes, I will use some sinking trackers that you can print out, but I think it's just kind of that's good for like motivating you to get towards your goal. But when it comes to the nitty gritty, like I don't want to have to track 32 cents on a paper chart. So this is just really helpful because it's direct numbers. It gives you exactly what you need. So I hope you find that helpful. Oh, also down here, it is formulated. It'll show you exactly how much you have in each category, which is super helpful to have a visual of exactly where your savings is and if you're meeting those goals. So, and then they're over here. Thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful. Please like down below and subscribe. Comment on other financial things that you think would be helpful that I can help you out with. Thank you, and have an awesome day.